Hey, welcome to X3. I'm your host, John C. Dvorak. This is a show about one topic and three pundits, myself included. I'm here with Andrew Eisner and Joe Engo, and we only have two cameras, so you're going to have to live with it. Eventually, we'll be back to three. I don't know what happened, but I know one thing that did happen is there was a story floating around. It lasted almost a week, too. It was about how users of Microsoft Internet Explorer had lower IQs, they were dummies, than were users of other browsers, no matter what the other browser was. Turns out
this is something I believed for a long time.
That's why this turns out to be a hoax, a complete and total hoax. Worked because of the prejudices and bigotry of either both the journalists and obviously the public, and Joe Engo just proved it by being a bigot right here on the show, and by saying
he probably uses Safari, right? I mean,
no, actually I use Chrome.
Okay,
Chrome.
Well,
I love Chrome.
The choice for the intellectual.
But anyway, so it brought up a bunch of issues, and I wrote a column. Go to PCMag.com and check out my column on it, which is, I think, hoaxes in the headline. It brought up a bunch of issues, and you brought this up earlier, which is one journalist. Today's journalist tends to get a press release and it's gold, and they go with it.
That's right. In the old days, you used to actually follow up and fact check and
call someone,
and
but now
investigate
it's all about
the source.
trying to get that story out there as quickly as
I
possible.
mean, they're a little overworked with they're scrambling to post things online, and something looks interesting and it makes sense, and up it goes. So.
Does it make sense, really? And here's what I mentioned is that, first of all, who under 40 in today's world actually knows what their IQ is?
Yeah.
Who?
That's true. You know, they don't measure them.
They don't measure them anymore. When I was a kid, we used to have our IQ taken about once every 2 or 3 years, and some other crazy tests that are now illegal.
That's right.
But nowadays, nobody knows their IQ unless they go to Cosmopolitan Magazine and take some bonehead test, and then they say, your IQ is 160. So that was one red flag.
Yeah.
But the other one, I think the thing that which kind of earmarks all hoaxes is wishful thinking on the part of the person being hoaxed. In other words, everybody like you hopes that everyone's an idiot except the person. I use a Macintosh, and so everyone who uses a PC is an idiot.
Yeah.
Or I use Firefox, and I went through the trouble of getting it and downloaded it, so everyone else is an idiot.
That's right.
Which is how this hoax worked. It was beautiful.
Well, I think the people that are using IE, like on a serious note,
are idiots.
Corporations that are just kind of stuck with it, and that's their deal. Or two, people that are just computer illiterate.
So you don't think one literate computer user?
I'm sure that there are some, but I think that it's a very small population of people out there. I mean, even Firefox is 10 times better than IE. IE is pretty much a joke.
It's pretty ridiculous. How can you? I mean, you can't generalize like that. I mean, it's like saying Apple users are smarter than PC users. Well,
no, I'm not saying intelligence-wise. I'm just saying. I mean, that probably a lot of people that are computer illiterate are using IE. I mean, a lot of people I know that are older
also,
don't know how to use
it was a computer IQ.
Well, if you want to call it a computer IQ, sure.
Well,
but
maybe I might give you that one.
Well, here's the understory, that what I think of the backstory that is being ignored so far. Where was Microsoft in all this? In the olden days, as you recall, if a story like this hit the wires, within an hour, Microsoft PR would be all over it. They'd be
what were they going to say about it, though?
They would be debunking it. They'd be calling up the thing. They would be tweeting about it. In today's world, they'd be tweeting about it, blogging about it, Facebooking about it, doing anything.
But do they have any data to back it up?
All they have to do is call the company and find out there's a phony research company, and that's all they need, which is what it was. It was a phony research company with a crazy name that nobody can get a hold of, and they've only been in business for a month. Or they just posted for a month ago. We've got their domain name. It wouldn't take much. The Microsoft people should be calling every individual reporter and demanding a retraction immediately.
Well, maybe they were just hoping that if they ignore it, it just goes away. Because if they acknowledge it, then it might blow up even bigger. I mean, it was.
No, this is not the way it works. And the other thing I think, here's what I think really happened with Microsoft. They believed it. I think the Microsoft PR people were, oh, geez, I guess the word is out. I don't know what we're going to do.
So maybe it is
it.
true then. Maybe it's just a lack of intelligence.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
But it seems to me that this does not bode well for Microsoft in the fact that
in the state of journalism today.
Well, it's a combination of things. If it wasn't for us, on the X3
That's
show and
right.
some other
Exposing
venues, the
these.
venues that we are involved with.
Yeah.
I don't know what anyone would do out there. I think you'd all be screwed. You've been watching X3.